of the 5th edition. Join our various gaming groups as we play the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons. And maybe just hang out and chat about gaming in general. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, assigned to Ragnarok Story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, Jim here.
And Kelly.
With the Creative Playing Podcast and D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. By the way, we totally have to start that new D&D game, by the way. You totally need to check out the Iron Kingdoms book. It came from the Kickstarter.
Ah.
Because, D&D and guns. Normally I'm repulsed by this idea, but Iron Kingdoms is a setting that it totally works because you have, steam-powered mecha and pistols and trains and goblins with explosives.
Well, yeah. Goblins without explosives just doesn't seem right. And then,
And gas masks. So today is day 2 of the 30-day Dungeons & Dragons challenge. So Kelly, I have to ask, what is your favorite playable race?
Well, let's just say it would probably be easier to say, which race don't you like to play? Human! That's the easy answer for that one. I love playing the different types of races. And also, it depends on what, I'm one of those players, okay, it also depends on what class I'm playing. But, it just depends. If I'm playing a cleric, I want to play a dwarf. Just get that spirit boost.
You want that wisdom.
But for those types of things. But I typically prefer non-humans. I do. I'm excited to play some other races. I always like to kind of shake it up, make them a little different, so I'm like, I already have the next character that I make is going to be this, it's like, I already have it planned in my mind, and it's, just a little different, I like to try the different types. I mean, but if I had to, what was that? If I had to pick, right now, I guess, well, it's hard to say, but I have to say Changeling is interesting, but it's challenging. Halflings are always fun. I like halflings. And I enjoy tieflings too.
But if you had to pin it down to just one.
Let's see. Tiefling.
Tiefling?
Yeah, I really like Tiefling.
Tiefling is a great character class. I mean, it's got tons of ideas that you
race, not a class.
Character race, yep. You can be charming devil, you can be that charming bard, you can be the paladin that's actually striving to go against what people perceive as his pure demonic nature, which is not true.
The very first Tiefling I ever created was like, nobody wanted to be the healer. I'm like, fine, I'll be the healer. But I'm going to make a character that looks like it is like so not who you would think would be a cleric. So I'm like, I chose a Tiefling. Okay, look like red skin. Let's give it the red skin, the black hair. Like, the farthest, like, looks devil. She looks like a devil, but she's like the nicest, and she's so devoted to her god, and so it's like, but of course she's chaotic good. She's not like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it only goes so far.
And the fact
there are
that
moments where she'll just out without warning throat punch somebody and hold a dagger to their throat. But hey, but yeah, that's I specifically chose it so that, and then I really enjoyed playing the character because I had never played a tiefling before, and I used some of their racial skills like the thaumaturgy and stuff pretty darn well, I think.
Though I will totally say with the tieflings, I'm sad that in 5th edition they lost some of those cool feats that they had in 4th edition where they could use their tail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were some of the fun things that tieflings could do.
Yeah, but you also don't want to make them too OP.
True. 4th edition was a bit about making players OP in a good way. So for me, I'm going to have to say my favorite playable race goes all the way back to 3rd edition, which is the currently called Dragonborn, used to be called the Half-Dragon back in the day. Because there's just something that's fun to be said about playing a character who's half-dragon, And let's be honest, in 4th edition, the Dragonborn got a huge storyline increase where they're basically the Roman Empire. So,
and they and the tieflings don't get along.
and them and the tieflings wiped each other out, I mean, I love that storyline where, the Tiamat's worshippers caused the Dragon Kingdom to go against the Tiefling Kingdom because righteous paladins, it's easy to get them to go after devils, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Tiamat's people betrayed them and caused everyone to get wiped out. But I just like the idea of a noble race, or even the evil ones, have that lawful evil feel of, it's that evil Roman Empire or the good Roman Empire, depending on your point of view. Usually it's evil.
Yeah.
But I really loved how a lot of 4th edition added more to that, about like the fact that there was a magic item where you could find a banner of your dragon, the platinum dragon from the ancient days, that you could plant that flag in the battlefield to give yourself a boost. That was a cool thing, That's one thing I'm hoping 5th edition pops more into, is a lot more of the high magic as opposed to the low magic, because I was a huge fan of the Dragonborn Warlord. Of course, I love the Warlord class, because there's nothing like a fighter that could heal just by saying, rub some dirt into it. You're not hurt that
bad. Suck it up, Buttercup!
And there is something to be said that if you ever check out the extra feats that they came out with for the different races, the Dragonborn had some pretty cool ones, that you could get wings. If you don't wear higher than light armor, you can totally fly, which, what's cooler than a dragon-blooded sorcerer, Dragonborn, who's got wings to fly? Just saying.
That is kind of nifty.
I mean, it is almost as cool as the winged subclass of tieflings.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then the fact that you can get dragon fear, and even though Dragonborn don't have dark vision, which everyone complains is like their one drawback, but it makes them more human, because they don't have the crazy dark vision. If they buy the feat, they get dragon vision, dragon senses. Or you can do the dragon fear, so instead of your breath attack, you can actually just scare the crap out of everybody with a growl. I mean, and you totally know, one of these days I want to play a Dragonborn with a Sean Connery accent. Because it would totally work.
I've got to hear this.
I mean, I have played a Dragonborn Paladin, a Dragonborn Cleric, and a Dragonborn Bard in the past. And the last time I played the Paladin, it did not go well. Oh, no, it was the Cleric I played in Josiah's game that did not go well because it was doing the Horde of the Dragon Queen storyline, so of course Tiamat's immediately involved, so you know what the cleric of Bahamut's going to be doing. He's acting more like a paladin than a cleric every day.
Mm-hmm.
And there was nothing worse in that game because literally every time someone popped up with Tiamat, I had to pop up with Bahamut. And in that game, sadly, half the player group had interesting characters, which is code word for not mini-maxed and going for weird oddball combinations that, while cool, are not good in a high combat adventure. Which, if you ever play the Horde of the Dragon Queen or Rise of Tiamat, those are insanely high combat fights. I mean, there's the joke that in Horde of the Dragon Queen, the very first fight is an adult blue dragon, which is like level 8, 9 characters fight for first level characters. The idea is the GM is supposed to scare the piss out of you of describing this lightning spitting dragons flying around this castle, and there's no way you'll be stupid enough to challenge it.
Depends on the person.
To which I often, in our session 0 for that game, explain to the party, are you guys okay with me playing a lawful good dragonborn cleric of Bahamut? And I told them, are you guys clear on what this means? And sadly, they were all gung-ho for it and good to go. And then when session 1 happened, one guy showed up with a lawful evil warrior. The other guy came up with an orc mage that didn't have combat spells.
Hold it. A mage without any combat spells?
All of his spells were utilitarian. Granted, he did make good use of Grease Spell many times. But sadly, my character was often eating dirt because his teammates would not stand up to fight with him or find a good reason to get him to, in character, back off.
Yeah, that is one of my pet peeves. It's like, if you decide ahead of time, are you an evil group? Are you neutral? Or are you good? At least some form of good, some form, so that you don't have, because I'm sorry, I used to play with my brother when I was a kid, and he would be that guy that would be the one evil, chaotic, character that would steal from their own, company and, yeah.
Hey, I had to give our warrior credit. He did convince me to pretend to be a priest of Tiamat because there were 50 civilians in our care.
Oh.
And I refused to do it until he said, look at those women and children. They need you to bluff our way into the castle. And my guy was just like, oh, you've mentioned the younglings. I'll do it for the children. And the mage actually put an illusion on me to turn my blue and silver robes red and black. And I spit out the words to walk by the guards that were keeping anyone from getting into the castle.
Oh, all the while writhing inside.
If the last of the hostages would have made it into the castle, I would have totally used my ice breath on them. But it was for the children. But Dragonborn is definitely my pick because I'm a huge fan of the ancient stories that you can come up with the Dragonborn. And they're just fun. I mean, they make great paladins, they make great clerics, they make really good bards if you get lucky on your stats. Just saying. Have you ever...
I've never played one.
I mean, come on. The pictures in 4th edition had Dragonborn looking all cool and smexy. And the fact
I remember Mom had one. She played a silver dragonkin.
Oh, that was totally back in the old 3.5 game.
No, was it?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was back when getting the half dragon template cost you like 4 levels of play.
Yeah, she was a warrior.
That's another thing that I like, that things have changed so that you can totally be a Dragonborn at first level and not have some crazy power creep. But I mean, I'll totally leave the teaser out there that, getting to have the best class race combo that I'm a fan of, because that's tomorrow's, is your favorite playable class. So we'll definitely need to see what you come up with for that one, because I know mine personally. I mean,
You know mine.
So if you had to play a race besides Tiefling, what would it be?
Well, there's so many. It's like, okay, just not a human. There we go. There's your answer.
See, for me, my secondary choice would always have to be the half-elf.
I like half-elf.
It's all...
A lot of my bards are half-elf.
It's all the things humans aren't in improving a human race. The half-elf.
Yeah.
Dark vision. Got some cool stuff. And the nice thing is the half-elf can be all kinds of different half-elves.
Mm-hmm.
Like in our Daggers game.
Yeah. Oh, no, well, yeah, but also I have the half sea elf for the, she's a very angry half elf.
She's an angry elf in general.
Well, okay, she's only angry obsessively about one thing. Other than that, she's pretty good. I have other characters who are way more angry.
So much rage. And not even an orc. So much rage. Alrighty, guys. I think we will wrap it up there on our favorite playable race. And yes, let us know what your favorite playable race is, because everybody's points are totally valid, and every race has its own perk.
Yep.
Because, come on, every race has its own cool story waiting to be told.
Yep. It's all what you put into it.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty, guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. Please follow us on Patreon at patreon.com/CPPN to never miss a show or stream.